大家好，下面上威尔斯顿国际教育联合创始人兼教育总监理查德·威廉姆斯博士介绍一下本公司。
My name is Dr. Richard Williamson from the University of Toronto, and I'm here today to talk to you about Wellston Education. Wellston Education is an international organization that is based in Toronto, Canada. It's an internet-based learning platform where students from countries all over the world join us online to do their learning. Learning is done individually. It's one-to-one with one of the Canadian trained teachers and one of the students who identifies their learning goals and then works with us on a one-to-one basis online on a schedule that suits both the teacher and the student so that the student can meet all of the goals that they have for their education. One of the many options available through Wellston is to work one-to-one with one of our trained Canadian teachers. However, one additional option is to work in a small group. That could be a group of 2 students with 1 teacher. It could be a group of 3, 4, and maybe even as large as 6 students with 1 teacher. So we can work either one-to-one with a student or in a small group. It's whatever best suits the learning needs of the student and best meets the needs of the family. One of the very important things that Wellston can offer is an opportunity for students to understand about a different culture for their education. For example, through Wellston, students are able to learn about Canadian culture, the Canadian education system, and the education system in different Western countries, such as the United States, the UK, and Australia. So whatever the learning goals are that your child has, we can best meet them through the various teachers that we work with. Teachers can help students understand not only language and the skills that they need, but also to learn about the culture. And the culture is very, very important. And it's important because the education systems in each country are different. So what we hope to best accomplish is to ensure that your child can be well equipped to function well and be successful in any education system, depending on where you want your child to attend school and potentially to attend university. Wellston can help your child be successful in any school in any country. At Wellston, one of the really important things that is worked on is the development not only of knowledge, because that's really essential when learning English and improving skills in English, but also on the skills that go with that. So for example, at Wellston, we use the Canadian curriculum. The Canadian curriculum is divided into several sections that are really important to know and to understand. First, the curriculum involves knowledge. So that's the information that students are required to know and be able to demonstrate to a teacher that they know and that they understand. Secondly, students need to develop and be able to demonstrate skills. That means that they are able to do certain things and they can demonstrate to their teachers that they have the ability to do those different things. Those are skills. And at Wellston, we can help students develop the skills so that they can be successful in a classroom in any English-speaking country in the world, because skills are the focus for so much of the work that is done in schools. But even beyond that, Wellston can also work with developing the learning skills. Now, learning skills are things like responsibility, collaboration, self-regulation, and other aspects of personal development that are essential for success in schools. Now, this is sometimes kind of surprising for some families because that is not necessarily a skill area that is assessed in different education systems. But in Western countries, learning skills are essential, and the learning skills are essential because they can help determine whether a student can be successful in school or not. So Wellston can support students in building their knowledge, their academic skills, but also their learning skills. Many people wonder about the program of learning for their child when they join Wellston. This is very, very important. Because a student is, say, for example, 15 years old, it does not mean that we would start with a book that is designed for a student who is 15 years old. The Canadian curriculum is designed in a different way, and we can make it suit your child perfectly. I will explain. The curriculum in Canada is designed based on knowledge and skills. So what we need to do is understand the starting point for your child. So what are their skills in listening? What are their skills in speaking? What can they do in reading? And what can they do in writing? So we would do an assessment to determine what their starting points are. Once we know the starting points, we would then start the teaching from those starting points and support your child in learning the listening, speaking, reading, and writing that are necessary for them to build up their skills to a level where they can be successful in their elementary school, their high school, and eventually their college or university experience. So we use the Ontario curriculum to identify the skills your child has, and those are the points where we start the teaching. So that's really essential to ensure that your child builds a broad base of skills and a deep level of knowledge of the language so that they can use it effectively and be successful in school. At Wellston, one of the additional services that is provided is not only to help young students who are in elementary or secondary school, but also to work with adults. Many adults want to learn English because they plan to do business or possibly even move to an English-speaking country. And so the ability to communicate in English is really, really important. Wellston can help. Wellston is able to support adults who wish to build their English language skills either from a beginning level, an intermediate level, or even from an advanced level. And Wellston does this first by focusing on the skills of listening and speaking. That's where the starting point is. Once the skills of listening and speaking are well developed, we move to the skills of reading and writing, because those are called the productive skills, and those are the ones that come after the listening and speaking. So we have an entire program developed that can support any adult in building their language skills in order to be successful either in doing business in an English-speaking country, or if you plan to immigrate to an English-speaking country, we can help you be prepared.